I kicked open the bedroom door and saw my cousin standing half naked beside my girlfriend in our bed. My mind froze and refused to accept the picture in front of me, like reality had glitched. Then my girlfriend screamed my name and pulled the sheets up like she had been caught stealing. In that exact second, something inside my chest broke in a way that still hurts to breathe. I am 28 years old from Ohio, and until that night, I believed I was living a normal, honest life. I had a decent job, a serious relationship, and a family I thought would never betray me. I was not suspicious or controlling or insecure. I believed trust was basic. I truly thought if you loved someone and treated them right, they would never destroy you. Emily and I had been together for 4 years, and everyone thought we were solid. We met in college, struggled through finals and rent and bad jobs together. We talked about marriage, kids, and a house like it was already decided. She called me her safe place, and I believed her with everything I had. Jake was not just my cousin, he was my brother in every way that mattered. We grew up side by side, slept on each other's floors, and defended each other in every family fight. When he had no money, I helped. When I needed backup, he was always there. If you asked me who I trusted, without question his name would come first. Looking back now, the red flags were everywhere, but at the time I refused to see them. Emily started guarding her phone like it held state secrets. Jake started showing up at my apartment more often, always when I was busy or exhausted. They shared looks and jokes that made my stomach tight, but I ignored it. I told myself I was overthinking, and that love means trust, even when it feels uncomfortable. I told myself family is family, and Emily would never cross that line. Every time my gut tried to warn me, I shut it down and smiled. That decision cost me more than I can explain. The night everything collapsed started like any normal weekday. Emily texted saying she had to work late. Jake messaged saying he was in town and asked to crash on the couch. I said yes without hesitation because that is what you do for family. When I got home, something felt off immediately. The apartment was quiet in a heavy, unnatural way. Then I saw shoes by the door that were not mine. My heart dropped, but my brain still tried to save me. I walked down the hall slowly, each step loud in my head. I heard soft laughter from the bedroom, not friendly, not casual. My hands started shaking, but I still told myself I was about to feel stupid. Then I opened the door. Jake was standing there shirtless, frozen, like a kid caught stealing. Emily was in my bed, pulling the sheets to her chest, her face pale. No one spoke, and time felt thick and slow. I felt heat in my face and ice in my veins. Emily said my name like she did not recognize me. Jake took a step toward me and said, "Bro, please listen." That word bro snapped something inside my head. I told them to stop talking, and my voice did not sound like mine. I did not yell or cry, I just turned and walked out. I left my phone, my wallet, and my sense of reality in that room. I sat in my car for hours staring at nothing. Every notification felt like another cut. By morning, everyone knew somehow. Jake told his parents, and they called mine. Emily told her friends and painted herself as confused and lonely. I learned how fast people choose sides. Emily came to my work crying, saying it was a mistake and it only happened once. Jake sent a long message saying he loved me like a brother. Those words felt empty coming from them. I asked one question and got 2 different stories. I wanted to believe this was a one-time disaster. I wanted to wake up back in my old life. But my gut would not let me rest. Something was still being hidden. 3 days later, I got a message not meant for me. A screenshot from Emily's phone sent by accident. Months of messages between her and Jake. My name was in them, but not with respect. That was when I realized I did not catch them in the act. I interrupted a secret that had been growing behind my back. And just when I thought I had reached bottom, my phone buzzed with something that made it even worse. The message that buzzed my phone that night was from someone I never expected. It was from my aunt, and it said, "We need to talk, there is more you do not know." My hands started shaking because I realized this was no longer just about cheating. Something bigger, darker, and way more calculated was about to come out. I did not reply right away. I sat on the edge of a motel bed staring at that message like it might explode. I had left my apartment 3 days ago and had not slept more than an hour since. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw that bedroom, that look on their faces. I finally texted back asking what she meant. Her response came almost instantly, like she had been waiting. She said Jake and Emily had been seeing each other for a long time. Not weeks, not a few drunk nights, but almost a year. That word year hit me harder than the cheating itself. A year meant lies planned carefully. A year meant family dinners, holidays, birthdays, all fake. A year meant they looked me in the eye and smiled while doing this. I asked how she knew. She told me she had found messages on Jake's phone months ago. She thought it was just flirting, and she warned him to stop. He promised he would and swore it was over. She never told me. No one told me. They all let me keep living in a lie. I hung up and sat there in silence. I felt stupid, weak, and completely exposed. The people who were supposed to protect me had chosen comfort over truth. That hurt almost as much as what Jake and Emily did. Later that day, my mom called me. She sounded tired, like she had been crying for hours. She asked me why I was doing this to the family. That sentence broke something in me. She said Jake made a mistake and that I should be the bigger person. She said Emily was confused and young. She said family should stay together no matter what. I asked her one question. If it was me in Jake's place, would you defend me the same way? She went silent. That silence told me everything. Emily would not stop calling. She left long voicemails crying, saying she loved me. She said Jake manipulated her and took advantage of her. She said she was scared to tell me the truth. An hour later, Jake texted me saying Emily came on to him. He said he tried to stop it, but it just happened. 2 stories, both designed to make me feel crazy. I started saving everything. Screenshots, voicemails, texts. Because I realized this was no longer about closure. It was about protecting myself. That night, I finally opened the screenshot I got earlier. It was a thread between Emily and Jake. It started with innocent jokes, late-night complaints about me. Then it turned into compliments. Then flirting. Then plans. They talked about me like I was an obstacle. Like I was something in the way of their happiness. They used my work schedule to plan time together. They talked about our bed, our couch, my shower. I threw up in the bathroom. I had to sit on the floor until the room stopped spinning. One message stood out. Emily told Jake she felt guilty because I was talking about proposing. Jake replied saying I would get over it eventually. That line hurt more than anything else. They both knew. They knew I was planning a future. And they chose to keep going. I drove back to the apartment the next morning. I needed clothes and answers. Emily was there sitting on the couch like she belonged there. She ran toward me crying. I stepped back and told her not to touch me. She started talking fast, apologizing, explaining, blaming everyone except herself. She said it was emotional at first. She said Jake listened when I was busy. She said she never meant for it to go this far. I asked her if she ever planned to tell me. She looked down. That was my answer. Jake walked in halfway through. He looked shocked to see me, like he thought I would never come back. He started talking about brotherhood and forgiveness. I lost it. I told him he was dead to me. I told him he was no family of mine. He got angry. He said I was overreacting. He said Emily and him were in love. That word love made everything clear. This was not a mistake. This was a choice. I grabbed my things and left. Emily followed me begging. Jake stood there watching. As I drove away, my phone buzzed again. It was from a number I did not recognize. The message said, "If you think this is the worst of it, you are wrong." I pulled over with my heart pounding. I typed back asking who this was. The response made my blood go cold. It was from one of Emily's friends. She said, "There is something you need to know about Jake, and it changes everything." That was when I realized the betrayal was still unfolding, and I had only seen the surface. The next message I got made my chest feel hollow, like all the air had been sucked out. Emily's friend said Jake did this before and nobody stopped him. In that moment, I realized I was not just betrayed, I was pulled into a pattern. I asked her to call me. She hesitated, then finally did. Her voice was low, like she was afraid someone might hear. She told me Jake had a history, not just with random girls, but with women close to other men. Friends, co-workers, even one of his best friend's girlfriend years ago. Every time, he played the same role, charming, supportive patient. She said Emily was not special. She was just the next one. I felt sick hearing that. Not because it excused Emily, but because it meant this was calculated. Jake did not accidentally fall in love. He targeted weak moments and took what was not his. Emily's friend told me she tried to warn her. She said Emily cried and swore it was different. She said Jake understood her in a way I did not. That sentence hurt because it meant Emily had already chosen sides. After the call, I sat in my car for a long time. I thought about every time Jake came over. Every time he listened while Emily complained about me. Every time he smiled at me like nothing was wrong. It all felt disgusting now. That night, I got a call from Jake. I almost did not answer. but I needed to hear his voice one last time. He started calm, like nothing was wrong. He said people were lying and trying to turn me against him. He said Emily's friend was just jealous. I asked him one simple question. How many times have you done this before? He went quiet. Then he got defensive. He said that was none of my business. That was all I needed. I told him I knew about his past. I told him I knew he targeted women who trusted him. I told him I was done forever. He laughed. Not nervous, not guilty. Just annoyed. He said I was weak. He said I did not deserve Emily. He said I should have seen this coming. That laugh still haunts me. After that call, I blocked him on everything. I told my parents I was cutting him out of my life. My mom cried and said I was breaking the family. I told her the family was already broken. I just refused to pretend it was not. Emily did not stop trying. She sent long messages apologizing, then angry ones blaming me, then sad ones saying she had nothing left. One message stood out. She said Jake told her I would eventually forgive them, that they could be together without consequences. That made me realize something terrifying. They both thought I would just disappear. A week later, I went to pick up the rest of my things. I brought a friend with me this time. I was not walking in alone again. Emily was there. She looked different. Smaller, tired, like reality was finally catching up. She tried to talk. I told her I was only there for my stuff. She started crying, saying she destroyed everything. I asked her why she did not stop. She said she felt alive with Jake. She said I made her feel safe, but he made her feel wanted. That sentence cut deep, because I had given her my whole life. As I was packing, I found something in a drawer. A small jewelry box. Inside was a ring. The ring I was planning to propose with. Emily saw it and broke down. She said she did not know. She said if she knew, she would have stopped. I looked at her and realized she was still lying. Because if she loved me enough, she would have stopped without a ring. I took the box and left. 2 days later, I found out Jake and Emily were official. They posted a picture together, smiling like nothing happened. Friends commented heart emojis. Family members said they looked happy. I felt like I was losing my mind. How could everyone move on so fast? Then the truth started coming out. One of Jake's old friends reached out to me. He said he cut Jake off years ago. He said Jake ruined his engagement the same way. Another woman messaged me. She said Jake slept with her while telling her he loved someone else. She said he always played the victim. The pattern was clear. Jake destroyed lives and walked away smiling. I sent everything to Emily. All the messages, all the stories. I told her she was not special. She was just another name on a list. She read it. She did not reply. A week later, she showed up at my door. She looked broken. She said Jake cheated on her already. She said she finally saw who he really was. I felt nothing. No anger, no satisfaction. Just emptiness. She asked me if I still loved her. I told her I did not know who she was anymore. She begged me to help her. She said everyone turned on her. She said Jake disappeared. I closed the door. That night, I lay awake thinking about everything. About trust. About family. About how easy it is to destroy someone who loves you. And just when I thought it was over, my phone buzzed one last time. It was a message from Jake. From a new number. It said, "You think you won, but I am not done with you yet." The message from Jake sat on my screen like a thread I could not ignore. "You think you won, but I am not done with you yet." My hands went cold because I finally understood this was not over. This was turning into something darker than betrayal. I did not reply. I learned the hard way that Jake thrived on reaction. Silence was the only thing that ever took power away from him. But even in silence, I could feel him looming. The next morning, my boss called me into his office. He asked me if everything was okay at home. He said someone had emailed HR about me. Anonymous complaints about anger issues and harassment. I felt sick. Jake worked in a completely different field. There was no reason for my job to be touched. Unless someone was trying to punish me. HR said they had to open a review. They would check messages, interview coworkers. I had done nothing wrong. But that did not stop the fear. By noon, my phone started blowing up. Extended family, cousins, aunts, people I had not talked to in years. They asked why I was spreading lies about Jake. Why I was trying to ruin his life. He got ahead of me. He always did. He told everyone I was unstable. That I could not accept Emily leaving. That I was obsessed and making things up. He painted himself as the victim. Emily texted me saying Jake told her I was harassing him. She asked me to please stop. That message broke something final inside me. I realized I was completely alone in this. Truth did not matter. Evidence did not matter. The loudest story won. I decided to do the one thing I had been avoiding. I told the full truth publicly. I wrote everything. The timeline, the messages, the ring, the pattern. I did not add insults or emotion, just facts. I posted it where everyone could see. Family group chats, social media, even sent it directly to his parents. Then I turned my phone off. When I turned it back on hours later, the world had shifted. People were asking questions. Women were commenting with similar stories. One after another. Jake's name kept coming up. His parents called me crying. They said they never knew. They said they were sorry. My mom called too. This time she did not defend him. She just said, "I believe you." That sentence was late, but it still meant something. Jake went silent. No more messages. No more threats. For 3 days. On the 4th day, I came home to my door slightly open. Nothing was stolen. Nothing was broken. Except my bedroom drawer. The ring box was gone. I sat on the floor for a long time. Not crying. Just numb. That ring was not about Emily anymore. It was about closure. And Jake took that too. I filed a police report. They took notes. They said without proof, it would be hard. That night, I slept with the lights on. At 2 in the morning, my phone buzzed. A photo message from an unknown number. It was the ring. On a bar table. Next to a drink. The text said, "You should have let it go." I stared at that screen, knowing one thing for sure. Jake was not done. And whatever came next was going to change everything. I never responded to that photo, but I did not sleep after it either. Something inside me finally shifted from fear to clarity. I realized Jake was not just trying to hurt me. He was trying to control the ending. The next morning, I took a day off work and sat in my car for hours. Not running, not hiding, just thinking about everything I lost and everything I was still letting him take. I thought about Emily, about how she showed up broken, asking me to save her, about how easy it would have been to be the good guy one more time, and how that would have destroyed me completely. I thought about family, about how blood meant nothing when silence protected abuse, about how many times people told me to be the bigger person, when what they really meant was be quiet. That was when I made the hardest decision of my life. I went to the police again, this time with everything. Messages, threats, screenshots, witnesses. Other women who finally agreed to speak. It was not fast. It was not clean. But it was real. Jake tried to deny everything. Tried to charm his way out. Tried to turn it on me. But patterns do not lie. A temporary restraining order was issued. Not justice, but a boundary. Emily tried to reach out one last time. She said she was in therapy. She said she finally understood. She asked if we could talk. I typed a long message, then deleted it, then typed one line. "I forgive you, but I choose myself." I never sent it. I blocked her, not out of hate, but out of survival. Months passed. The noise died down. Family gatherings felt smaller, quieter. Some people never looked at me the same. Others finally did. I moved to a new apartment. Different part of town. Different energy. Some nights I still think about that ring. About who I was before all of this. About how trust used to feel easy. But I also think about the man I became. The one who did not beg. Did not chase. Did not break. Here's what I learned. Not everyone who hurts you is evil. Some are just empty. And will hollow you out if you let them. Love without respect is just fear wearing a mask. And family that demands silence is not family. So here's my question. And I mean it. If the truth costs you your relationship, your family, your old life, but lying costs you yourself, which price would you pay?